Hi everyone, it's Sophie. If you've got a piece that you want to learn but you're not sure how to get going, here are some of my top tips to get you started. So before you even start working on your song, make sure that you're warmed up. It's really important because your voice doesn't work at its best until you're warm. And you want to do this for 5 to 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything too complicated. Maybe just start with some humming. Go up to somewhere that's comfortable but higher in my range and then back down again, then maybe move on to something with some more jumps in it. Same again, somewhere high but comfortable with my range, and then back down again. And then it could even be something probably a little bit silly, like a good old lip trill. So looks crazy, but just have fun with it. I will have more ideas and tips on warming up at a later date, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you're notified when the video is available. So once you're warmed up, you can start taking a look at the song in a bit more detail. Hopefully you've already got an idea of how it sounds, know the tune, know most of the words. You don't need to know it inside out, but once we've got to that point, we want to break it down into smaller chunks. The last thing we want to do is just start at the beginning, go all the way through, back to the beginning, all the way through. We need to focus in on the points that we want to work on. So for example, if I take something like Breathe from In the Heights, I just want to look at a small bit first, so it could be, this is my street, I smile at the faces I've known all my life, they regard me with pride. Just that little bit first. So am I happy with the tone? Am I clear on what the rhythm's supposed to be? Do I know the words? So just focus on that little bit, and then we can look at another section once you're comfortable with that. So we might then go to more climactic part of the song. So when I was a child, I stayed wide awake, crying to the fire escape. And I know it's a bit bigger then, so thinking, am I supporting enough? Am I creating a bigger tone there? So something close to a belt or a mixed voice. And then we can start putting that back into the context of the song. So my third tip is to record yourself during your practice sessions, even just a little bit at the end of each session. And it is really difficult at first to get used to hearing yourself because nobody sounds the way they think they do. But I promise once you've got over that hurdle, it's really useful, because firstly you're going to be able to see and hear the progress you're making, but also it just means you can focus in on a couple of little other things that you might not have noticed that need a bit of work. It doesn't need to be anything expensive, just your phone or a tablet will do. So we've got our sections, and now we want to look at each section in a bit more detail. Now particularly if you're going for a fast song, you want to bring the speed right down, and I mean really right down, to the point it almost sounds a bit strange, because often when things are quick we can't really process them until we know them well. We want to make sure every note, every little bit of detail is there. So to take an example of a fast song, I'm thinking of Bad Idea from Waitress, which would normally be, it's a bad idea, me and you, which is quite quick, and there's later in the song we get a lot more detail, so we're literally going to bring it down to, it's a bad idea, me and you, and you want to go through the whole piece that slow to make sure every note, every little detail is in there. So you've got your song and you're starting to break it down and work on things in a lot of detail, and only then should you start going back to the beginning and singing it all the way through. But the other thing to mention is to make sure you're practicing little and often. And the reason for this is often with our busy lives we cram in a load of practice, which is useful, but it's a lot more productive if we just do a small bit every day. A lot of practice comes down to memory, and memory works best when you do repeated actions regularly. So even if you can only find 10-15 minutes in your day, try and do a little bit each day and you will see results a lot quicker. So those are just a few of my tips to get you going when you're starting some new songs. If you've got any questions, do leave me a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more tips and ideas coming up. Thanks everyone for watching, stay safe, and I will see you soon.